love, it's Random Life!
Yo, what up, Random Lifers? The last couple of videos, I've noticed a trend. I've done a lot of like rock and roll inspired videos, rock and roll inspired whatever. And it just started to dawn on me that a lot of you guys might not know, you know, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a rock star. That obviously didn't happen. But I did play in a lot of bands growing up, and so I thought I'd make a video on my like 3 craziest I was in a band stories. These are not necessarily in any order, but I thought I'd share them with you because a lot of them are pretty funny. This one time when we were in high school, me and the guys in the band, we were gonna go play a worship set at a church. And so at the time we were playing a pretty good bit at youth worship things and coffee shops. And so my buddy Micah, who was the lead singer of the band, said, hey, I found us a gig. I found us a youth group, and we're gonna go play at a church in town. So we're all fired up, and we're playing these songs, for teenagers, the kind of the contemporary worship stuff. That's a little bit on the rockier side, kind of at the time. I think we had a 5 or 6 song set list, play for a half hour kind of thing. And so we show up, nobody's there yet because we got there early. We start setting up all our gear, and a bunch of senior citizens start walking in the door, like way too many senior citizens for this to be like a coincidence. And so I go up to the person who's in charge of the event, and I said, hey, just double checking, like, is the youth group like gonna get here? Like, the youth group gonna show up pretty soon? And they're like, this is the annual senior citizen pancake breakfast. And we're like, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And they're like, yeah, that's what they do every year. So all these old folks start rolling in, and we've practiced all these really up-tempo rock songs. Literally half of a song in, the first song, an old woman walks up on the stage and says, in the middle of the song, like we're playing, and says, hey, you guys, you have to turn it down. You have to turn it down. So we turned the amps like almost all the way down and finished the 5.5 songs we had left. It was terrible. It was awful. It was the worst show, I think, other than the one time I was playing bass and I tried to do a bass solo. This was the worst I've ever done on stage, any of us, our band. It was really, really terrible. So this other time, we were in college at this point. So we were freshmen in college, most of the guys in the same band, and we were going to play a D-Now in Auburn. So we were like half in Mobile at the time, half of us in Birmingham, and so we kind of meet up in Auburn at this church. And it was actually a really good event. We were playing, it was great. Well, like Saturday night, usually at a D-Now, are the big events, like kind of the big night, right? Like where you're sort of putting all the effort into it. And so I get really excited on stage. I get really fired up. I'm kind of that crazy person that it's like not really good, but everybody enjoys watching because of the craziness. I'm sure you're really surprised about that. And so when I was, a teenager, early 20s, and I was on stage, I used to do a lot of guitar spins. And if you don't know what a guitar spin is, it's where you spin the guitar around your head, right? You have a guitar strap, you spin it around, and you like a windmill, like the guitar is just doing. And so, I did it, I say a lot, like way too much. Like probably more than once a show is way too much. So I'm doing this guitar spin, but I don't have my guitar on. I have my buddy Micah's guitar on, and on my guitars I have what's called strap locks, and it locks the strap onto the guitar. He didn't have strap locks. So you might imagine when I go to spin this thing around, I spin this guitar and the strap comes off. Well, the front row is a bunch of 9th grade girls, and the guitar goes around my head, comes undone, and sails into the front row. And this point in my life is happening now in slow motion. And I see the guitar, and I see her, and her eyes are huge, and my eyes are like, Lord, help us right now, right? So the guitar is flying into the front row, and I somehow go into ninja mode. This is the only time in my life this has ever happened. I grab the guitar string. It's like a streamer, like flying behind, and I grab it and I yank it back. The guitar like bangs on the stage. Everybody's like, what is happening? And then I just get down on my knees and I pick the guitar up and I'm on my knees like playing like, yes, this totally was supposed to happen. It was phenomenal. Terrible. And the poor little girl, she's like, And other than that, though, it was crazy, and we finished the song, totally epic. All right, so this one's really good. My junior year of high school, we're playing Battle of the Bands, which we won, by the way. I don't know how, because we were easily the worst band there. Like 3 or 4 bands played. The other ones were way better, like so much better. I don't know, like they were mostly hardcore metal bands, and you could actually understand our lyrics. Maybe that's why we won. I don't know. But we're playing this Battle of the Bands, you guys, and we were so bad. And when I say we were really bad, I just want to clarify, I was really bad. If you're ever the person that looks around the room and you're wondering, okay, who's the bad musician in the room, and you can't figure it out, it's easily you. The other guys nailed it. Me, it was rough. I sang too, by the way. Like, it's a long story, but I sang, I did all the lyrics. It was rough. But I had always wanted to smash a guitar on stage. I'm a big fan of The Who, you know, Pete Townsend. Keith Moon is my favorite drummer. I wanted to be just like Pete Townsend, and I wanted to smash a guitar. So I found this like super junky old guitar, and I had it on stage. And some guys, like some actual musicians, showed up, and they were gonna play a set after us, like almost like wrapping up the Battle of the Bands, like a kind of a known local band. These guys, like, I'm telling them, like, hey, I'm gonna smash a guitar, and they're like, okay, cool, here's how to do it. And they like walk me through the process of, don't do it like this, do it like that. Well, I'm at the school, you know, in the auditorium, and they're like, hey, you're gonna like bang the floor up. And so I put my amp at this certain spot. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just smash the guitar on the amp. That's like, the guitar will smash, my amp will be okay, the floor, no problem. So here's what I didn't anticipate. A bunch of people had come to support us, and they were all standing. They had gotten out of their seats and were standing down at the base of the stage. And it was within like the splash zone, you know, like you go to SeaWorld, right? You know, Shamu, vroom, in the water, right? It was in the splash zone. And on our last song, right, I put my guitar down, my good guitar, I'm not gonna smash that, and I go grab the junk guitar, and I just start walloping, wham, wham. Well, the splash zone starts getting shards of guitar, and my mom, right, who loves me, goes down, and like just a chunk of guitar just nails my mom. So like the one time, like in my coolest point in my life where I'm smashing a guitar, a chunk of it like hits my mom. The splash zone, like just shards of splinters and wood are going all over these people. Yeah, so kids, stay in school, don't try to be a rock star.